So, welcome everybody to quite another episode of Tech and Practical. Today we will be focusing on everyday carry or a so-called get home bag. I know many go into the direction that an everyday carry should be like this little pocket here and not much more. But I rather tend to, if I go out ever anywhere, that I am carrying at least a little small backpack on me. So let's get right into it. I really want to say why a sling bag, because I don't know about you, but I mostly like to carry a full backpack. But as you might know, there is the problem of getting it off fast. Also, you can be dragged around with it. With a sling bag, you have a much better flexibility with this because you can easily get out. And on the other hand, you always can have your stuff accessible easily. As normally you are carrying your cell phone on the front. Also, you might want to check out in the info of your regarding cell phone, there's actually being information about how far you're actually supposed to carry it away from your skin. Nice to know on that one. And yeah, you can easily rotate this and then get access to your different things. And starting off with the little extra bag, you can put your extra phone, for example, into here, especially to have it accessible easily for recording. And mostly this is about writing and staying sustainable in regards of energy, because we got a regarding power bank with solar function in here, and then mostly just writing stuff and different kinds of regarding cables, plus of course car adapters and everything. Usually when I'm traveling light and don't expect to stay away from home or any other base for longer, then I just take a little writing stuff, put it in the front here, and then you will be fine as well. This is a fairly cheap one from Amazon. You are welcome to look for what suits you best. I was really fond of this feature here that you can put out your regarding headphones, because I like to go with the cabled ones. You really would like to research the earpods on occasion if you'd like to. And of course, stretching it to the limit, we got a little failure here, but never mind, that is not really concerning me much, because you will see soon, probably some of you are already coming up with the question, oh, what about water and everything, and that is covered as well, no worries. In the normal front, we got something special I'm always carrying around with me, as said in EDC, which is the Nordride Paramedic Light. I'm also seeing to testing out the Scout and Patrol variants. It is a really great feature. If you would like to know more about it, then just let me know in the comments, please. Same for all that's following. Then we got, of course, some bars. We got an emergency blanket. We got some condoms. If you shouldn't know, for example, if you might have a cut in your arm, for example, just put off the tip, put it over. That is really great improvisation. Also, you can put it on your feet if you're crossing a river to keep them dry. You can also boil water in it, which is of course not the best health basis, but yeah, also good. We got a lighter in there, some basic stuff, also a little bit of paracord, and regarding replacement shoelace, just for case of emergency. You know how it ever can happen. And that is mostly it for the front pocket. We always want to leave at least a little space for other stuff, for example our charging cable or something like that. Coming over to this front pocket, which is mostly kept empty, because as you see, there's quite a lot of stuff in here. But something very important I always like to carry is, and this is really a very cheap one, I think that was actually from Lidl, yeah, just a little raincoat. And once again, coming to why I like this backpack, because it easily goes under any kind of overclothing, even including raincoats. Then usually we would have there more writing stuff in the front pocket, and mostly right now this is only covering here the rain poncho, because you can easily sling around you can easily sling around the rucksack and then have access to that and unfold it. Now, coming to something else, I won't always have to be accessible. We got one thing more ahead. I know many people like to carry like 5, 6, 10 knives or something.
A sandwich, backup sandwich.
But you always have to remember that, yeah, it's a personal choice. I like to go with something because I'm living rurally. I always might have an opportunity arising to cut some trails for the hunters or something like that. But this is a really nice, also fairly cheap multi-tool, which has many different functions. But as you can see, you can really do some durable or some, yeah. As you can see, you can do really some different kinds of work with this one. And now coming to something I really want to recommend to you. I try always to carry with me, especially after all the situations and new threat vectors we see arising since 2022 from Ukraine. Also, if you would like a deep dive on this one, you can also see it already on different videos in the brown version. This is a so-called Ghosthood compact poncho. The German forward brigade in the Baltics already got a more sophisticated and larger version of this. Basically, this is an IR camouflage poncho, easily to unfold, easily to put on, and can cover yourself and even a dog or a small child kneeling in front of you, for example. There are bigger versions available. This one goes for 130 euros, I think, at the moment. So we mostly covered the tactical aspects here, except for can always recommend to have a thermoscan with you. Also, we have the easy accessibility here, and as you might know, these can be somewhat zweckentfremdet. Next up, of course, some wet wipes. Of course, something for the dog, something from you already saw here. Then, of course, we got some lights, another reserve for the dog. And then, of course, we got a little medical bag, we got Quicklot, we got an Israeli bandage, we got the gloves, we got disinfection, another emergency blanket, you know, if for yourself, but also especially to help others. For example, I already got to use the emergency blankets on passed out people on the side of the street. When you are a soldier, you're not allowed to pass anyone having traffic problems, having a grounded car. So the emergency bar already relieved a single mother, for example, in the past. So it's always nice to have stuff with you that could potentially help someone. These ones are also quite cool. These are basically like little tissues, compressed very much. You put a drop of water onto them and you get like this of cloth. Then we got regarding boxer shorts, plus regarding socks. As you know, if you are traveling, if you might staying a night somewhere, this is like the two places you really want to get cleaned if you have a much of rucking ahead of you. Additionally to the poncho, we also got a little rain cover in case I want to lay it somewhere. Of course, we want some kind of possibility to keep a fire going, to maybe warm this up a little or something. At least some improvisation to get a somewhat steady flame we can keep going. And lastly, we got a regarding towel, just to dry off and everything, especially when you are with a dog walking cross country. You might know the regarding issues arising. So that's it for the start. I'm looking forward to your regarding critique, possible questions. It is always, it depends on the situation where you're going into, it depends on who you are. And of course, everyone got his own preparations, his own regarding tastes on this and that. So I'm quite sure there will be many different kinds of comments, and I'm looking forward to reading all of them. Let me know if you would like a deep dive on any of these. So, as always, stay aware, take care.